Hi, this is your course professor, Tammy Dashley Shaw. I wanted to make this video to give you a better background and understanding how our Canvas site will be arranged for a class, but then also give you a better idea of how to access MyMathLab and use it. So if you're brand new to Canvas, especially if you're brand new to MyMathLab, this video will hopefully give you a sense of how these programs function and the different functionalities within them. So right now I'm showing you the homepage of our courses Canvas site. So the homepage is your weekly modules. So each week I'm going to open up the various things that we'll be doing in the class, and everything's going to be in the order in which we'll do it. So the first several items are related to our first day in class. And so we reviewed the syllabus, so you received a hard copy version. But there's also the syllabus available electronically as well. So if you need access there, if you clicked on it, you can download the PDF or just view it of our syllabus. The next item was our first day presentation. So any notes or things I present to you guys in class, I also like to post online just in case you misplaced that assignment or you want to go back and look at the notes that I have personally made. Those are always posted for you as well. So if you were looking at the presentation, you like some of the information on it, and maybe you didn't get a chance to write it all down, or you wanted the web link to the video I showed in class, that's all provided here for you. So all the information I show you guys online, I try to have also digitally on our Canvas site. So that's available again for you to view or download. And then after that are some information about how to register for MyMathLab. So the very first time you have to purchase your code or enter your code to gain access to MyMathLab, but then after that you shouldn't have to enter your code again. So there's the registration instructions available as a PDF. So if you like to read through the instructions, really it's not that many steps. It's just knowing what those steps look like and how to access them. If you're not big on reading the instructions, you're more a visual person, or you just would like to watch a video, I made a video on how to access and register MyMathLab through our Canvas site, so you can see the different options and the steps you would go through to register for the class. So that video is available for you, and you can literally put the video on and pause it and go through step by step that registration process. So once again, once you register for MyMathLab, it's a one-time process, it's done, and then it's actually really easy to access within Canvas. So I'm going to show you right now what MyMathLab would look like once everything has been registered. So once you've registered everything for MyMathLab, you should be good to go. So this first bonus algebra review activity, bonus means it's extra credit. So if you choose not to do it, it's not going to hurt you, but it is additional points that you get essentially for free towards your homework. So there's no harm in doing it. So I clicked on it, and you can see it popped us right into MyMathLab. This is MyMathLab right here. And so how you would see a homework assignment, it gives the name, the due date. If there was multiple problems, you can see the last time that you worked and your current score. So right now I have 100% because I watched this video. How the videos work is you click on the link and it will open a pop-up. So if you click on the link, then nothing happens. Your pop-up blocker might be on. So you might have to deactivate your pop-up blocker to go ahead and get into that video. So I would watch the video and take notes. So you are expected to take notes on videos that you watch online. How detailed you wish to make the notes is entirely up to you, but you do need to keep notes as part of your class notebook grade. So hopefully you enjoy these videos. Part of why I assign them, aside from giving you access to information outside of what we do from class, is I think it's really helpful to have something that you can pause, rewind, rewatch, fast forward through, and really have a personalized experience of how you learn the information. So it may be that you watch these videos and then come back to them at different times. Maybe you forget some of the information or you want to see how our problems worked again. That's available for you all the time. So go ahead and close this. Once you do watch it, you can know that you've received credit. It gives you a check mark, and then you can see your current score. So let me go back to our home menu. So the next thing available is the MyMathLab tutorial. So this MyMathLab tutorial has two parts. There's a little how-to video to show you how you enter your answers, because you will be typing in your answers, and sometimes these may be mathematical equations that are a little complicated. It gives you some information how to do that. And then there's just some sample questions that essentially walk you through the different aspects of MyMathLab. So you'd want to go ahead and try this. Once you have answered a question, you will see a little green check mark. So I'll try one here. So you click on the question, it'll pop up that window for that question, and then you can do your questions within this window. So this one is an example of a drop-down answer. To get credit for a question, your answer must be, I'm going to select correct. And then in order to check it, you have to click this check button on the bottom. And it lets you know right away, did you get it correct or not? If you got it incorrect, usually you have 2 more tries to get the correct answer on that same problem. And then what it will do is it'll allow you to work a similar problem but with different numbers. But there's an unlimited number of tries how many times you can try to get the correct answer. So in this case I got it correct. I can click next question, or you can navigate between the questions up here with these little arrows. You can go throughout the questions or do the little drop down and select your questions that way. So let's say I wanted to skip to question 6. I could do that right now. This is an example how to use the interactive features for a number line. And so it wants me to click and drag the graph to use the arrow key. So let's say I just put it there, check my answer. So it tells me it's not correct, and it can also sometimes give you feedback. So it's telling me that I placed my point at 3, but I want to move it to 5 where the X appears. So I'm going to try that again, check my answer again. This time I got it correct. So that's the wonderful thing about MyMathLab, is you do get that instantaneous feedback, whether you're right or wrong, and you can get unlimited tries. So you can try the same problem up to 3 times. At that point you would generate a similar problem that you can then again attempt for 3 tries. So this is just working through the different sort of ways that you can answer questions. So there are some graphing questions in MyMathLab. If you leave a question before you've answered it, sometimes it gives you this warning. But you can do the questions out of order. If you see one and you're like, I don't really know that one right now, you can always come back to it later. So you can kind of see the different graphing tools. And then each question, sometimes there's assigned media. That's not as common. But there's always usually some form of question help. So this particular question just has Ask My Instructor or printing. But usually there's a lot more options available. So you'd want to click Save to save your progress. And then here I can see which questions I got correct, which questions I haven't answered, and then if you got them wrong, instead of a check mark, you'd have a little red X. So let me actually show you a homework assignment. So in a typical class, there's really 3 parts to it. So say for instance, our upcoming class on Friday, we're going to be covering section R4, which is polynomials. So the first part of the class would be to complete this pre-class homework assignment. So prior to coming to class, I'm going to go into Canvas, click on this link, and do the assignment in MyMathLab. Typically these are going to be videos. So they're going to be videos that I purposely found on YouTube that are short. They cover important topics in that section. And I want them to be something that you guys have a chance to get an understanding or a refresher out of your memory what that topic was about before you come to class and we do more work together. So this one I would watch these 3 videos. So I'd go through, watch it, take notes, go to the next video, watch it, take notes, and once I've completed all 3 of these, then I'd be ready for class. So if you don't complete all of them, you can see it deducts your score as a percentage. And it also lets you know when it's due. So for this particular 3 set of videos, you need to watch all 3 by September 8th at midnight. You'll still have access to the videos after that date, but you just won't get credit as it being assignment. So it's important to note that you do want to watch those before the due date because you don't get credit afterwards. You can still access them, you can still watch them, but you're not going to get the 100% credit. So once I've watched these pre-class videos and I've taken notes, Then I'm ready to go to class. So I post the blank notes that you will get during class. So you don't need to print these. I will print these for you and bring them to class. But you can see what we're going to cover in class together. So there's notes. Some of them will complete altogether as a class. Some might be practice problems that you do on your own. But we're going to cover this information in class. And then what I typically do is after class, I will post the written in parts that I provided for you guys. So if you were absent from class, or maybe you wrote something down and your handwriting you can't read and you want to know what I wrote down, you can try to decode my handwriting and look at these posted notes. So I always try to have a blank set of notes available for you, and then after class the completed notes available for you. So where that would appear in Canvas, that would appear right after this set of notes. You would see the filled in notes. So the first part would be to do the pre-class. The second part would be coming to class and completing the notes or assignments that we have. And then the last part is the homework. So the homework, traditionally we do it after class, and I think that there's value to that because now you've had 2 opportunities to learn the information. But if you wanted to start on this homework early, say right after you did your pre-class videos, that's fine. You can definitely do this early. So this particular homework, all homework practice problems are due on Mondays, Monday at midnight. So after we've learned it in class, that following Monday would be when it's due. So in this instance, it will be due Monday, September 11th at midnight. You have an unlimited number of attempts to get the questions correct. And if you don't happen to get all the questions done by Monday, you still have the opportunity to work on the homework assignment up until our unit exam. So our unit exam would be when you can't work on it anymore, but you still have up until that unit exam to work on it. The only drawback is you're doing it late, so there's going to be a deduction of credit. So if, say, I got through 20 of our 30 questions before Monday, I could still complete the remaining 10 at half credit. So there's always that option to continually work on it, even if things happen in life, which they do, and you need more time to work on it. There is that option of the 50% credit. So how a homework would work, you click on the question, and again it'll pop up the window with the question and you can fill in your answers. So here it's a multiple choice with a type-in box, and doing that MyMathLab orientation assignment will assist you in knowing how to answer things in MyMathLab. So here, I can type in, select an answer choice, and then type in my answers. So the variable is X. Now you notice when I click on this text box, I can either type things in with my keyboard. So I typed in X is just X, the letter X on my keyboard. If it's a number, the coefficient is 6, you can use the number part of your keyboard. If it's something that requires more symbols, once I click into the text box, I have all these options as to how I want my answer to be formatted. So if I wanted a fraction, I could select that, right? And it could give me the option with the text boxes. And then if you decide, oh no, I didn't want that, you can always backspace or delete anything. Things for powers, absolute values, square roots, they have all these different symbols that you could potentially use. So usually this first menu is all you need. A lot of these other symbols are used for higher levels of math. So let's say, here I want to check my answer, but I can't because I haven't answered all the parts. So it usually does require you to answer all the different parts. Actually, let me change this. Let's say it was 7. Now here I didn't get it correct. And so it gives me some feedback as to what to do. And I now have 2 more chances to go ahead and try and solve this problem. So let's say I'm really stuck. I don't know where to start. This problem is tough. There's some options up here to assist you with the problem. So the Skill Builder button, Skill Builder brings you into some of the lower level skills that you might need to answer that question. So it's going to take you kind of into a separate practice set to assist you in kind of building up to that question and how to answer it. So I could select that and do some practice problems. These won't affect your homework grade, so you can choose to do them or not, but it's not going to give you extra credit. It's not going to take away credit if you get them right or wrong. So one option is to use the Skill Builder. If you get into there, you can always return back to your homework problem or to use these question help. So the question help has a lot of different things that you can use to assist you in the problem. So there's help me solve this, that will bring up that same problem and essentially help you get through it a step at a time by asking you some leading questions to help you understand it one little part at a time. But you do have to kind of enter in your answers. So this is a non-negative integer, I check it. And it works you through, you can see the different parts, it works you through part by part in understanding this question. And again, once you feel like you know it, you can exit out. Typically though, it's going to generate a different problem since the help me solve this is helping you solve that particular problem. So usually we'll generate a similar problem, but it's not going to be the exact same answer as the previous one that you worked through. You can view an example. So viewing an example is helpful if you just want to see one similar to the one you're working on and get some help on it, but not actually solve that particular problem. In this one, there's not any drop-down boxes, so you can just read through the text to assist you with that. The textbook, so there is an e-textbook. If you notice, pop-ups are kind of an issue with MyMathLab, so you need to make sure that you allow those. So it was blocking my textbook pop-up. So it can take you directly to your textbook in that particular section. So you can read through that section of the textbook, look at their examples, see if that helps you in solving that problem. You may have to initially get something set up on your device, like Adobe Reader, Flash, things of that nature. MyMathLab is usually pretty good at assisting you in getting that set up. So there's our section of the textbook. So you can read through the pages, look at the examples, definitions. There's additional practice problems, just like a real textbook, because it is your textbook. It's just digital. And there's also the Ask My Instructor button. Usually when you go to Ask My Instructor, all that it really does is send me an email with your an image of your problem, and you can type in a question. So it's going to take me time to reply back. It's not an instantaneous answer. But if you find something really strange, like you're entering an answer, you're sure that it's right, but MyMathLab isn't accepting it as correct, something of that nature, you can do the Ask My Instructor, and what that does is it sends me that particular problem. I can see exactly what you were working on and give you additional feedback that way. So the other options, like Help Me Solve This, the e-text, the similar problem, those are going to really help you instantaneously. This is not instantaneous because I have to receive the email, read it, and then reply back. But there are sometimes weird circumstances, like maybe your answer is correct and it's not acknowledging it. If something like that happens that you really need my help with, then you can use this as an option to email me directly through MyMathLab. There's also the option to print. So if you want to print your problems, you can print the entire assignment or just a particular question. This would be really more helpful if you don't have internet access all the time and say you want the problems written out to work on them without a computer. You can do that. The only warning I have is once you solve them, you still have to go back into MyMathLab and type in your answers. And of course, there's not going to be that same feedback and support like you do with the internet connection. But that is an option. You know, if you know you have a long bus ride, you can go ahead and print these problems or save them offline, work on them, then come back and type in your answers. So that is an option if you don't have internet access all the time. And then Skill Builder is that same Skill Builder that I showed you previously. So again, you have unlimited tries to try and get an answer correct. If you're stumbling on a question, you want to skip it, again, you can skip past questions. If you really want to challenge yourself and work backwards, you could do that too. There's any order that you can complete the problems in. You can complete them early if you wanted. Get started on the homework, say before class, see how you do. Come back after class, see how you do on answering any remaining questions or getting to the ones that you originally got incorrect. There's a lot of flexibility in the MyMathLab homework assignments. And that's what I wanted for you, is to have that flexibility. Now when you leave, it'll give you a pop-up. So I want to stay and save my progress. and then I'll close the window. So if you opened a question and either you didn't answer it or you answered it incorrectly, that's where you're going to see that little X box. If you got it correct, you'll see the green check mark. So if I want to come back to that question 1, again, I can click on it, and it'll pop up the question. If it was incorrect and I had more chances, it'll open that up. If I got it wrong 3 times in a row, then it would generate that similar question for me to do. And then you can also see your score. So you can see your current grade at any time as you work on the homework assignments. So that is our first week of classes. So really we're only covering one section of material, but there are those bonus things to help get you started. So use the materials, the instructions, and the videos to assist you get started and registered for MyMathLab. And then you can access the tutorial and any bonus assignments to help get you started for our course. So if you ever have any questions, you run into technical issues, whatever, please feel free to shoot me an email at my email address listed on the syllabus. I'm really responsive via email, and I'd much rather you send me an email and get information than not. Because a lot of the times I don't see what you guys see. So there may be an issue with MyMathLab, a larger issue, and when I get several emails from students, then I know that there's something bigger going on. So please feel free, email me. Sometimes it might be something simple like your pop-up blocker's on and that's why things aren't opening. And I can help troubleshoot with you guys on how to do that and fix those common issues. And sometimes it's something bigger. It may be a network outage at Pearson, and that's why you can't get into the MyMathLab homework assignment. So if you ever run across something strange or have any sort of questions, please go ahead and contact me. The last thing I want to point out on our Canvas site, so the home page is the same as the modules page. The syllabus page is where there's general information, my office hours, and you have a link to the syllabus as well. The grades tab is also really helpful in keeping track of your progress in the course. So everything again is listed chronologically, and so if you see a date, that is a class attendance and participation grade. So you're going to receive a grade each day that you're in class. The lowest 3 will be dropped at the end of the semester. So if you were absent 3 days, or maybe you didn't do so well on an in-class assignment, those will go ahead and get dropped. But that's what those assignments are. And then as you complete stuff in MyMathLab, your scores are automatically going to update in here as well. So if you remember on that pre-class homework assignment, I did some of the problems. So once I do them, my score will get automatically updated here. MyLab and Mastering, that tab is just an alternate way to get into MyMathLab. So probably the easiest way is generally going to be in that Modules or Home tab, because it'll jump you right to the assignment that's due. However, there are a lot more things in MyMathLab. So if you open the MyLab and Mastering, it'll open MyMathLab as a separate window. And you can see all the functionality that comes with MyMathLab. So there's all your homework assignments that are available, so you can actually see that there's a lot more out there. They just haven't been maybe opened up yet. So you can see that there's a lot more out there if you wanted to get ahead. There's author and action videos, so there's videos done by our textbook author that you can view. There's guided lecture notes. There's your e-text. There's a study plan, which is essentially all the problems available in MyMathLab, not just the ones that I assign. You can actually do a lot more problems out there. There's a separate MyMathLab gradebook that you can view, so you can see all of your grades for things that you've completed. And there's a lot more tools. There's tools for success and studying for math. There's lots of different options available in the site. So you can access your homework in either place. They both pop up, but it might be easiest to go to Canvas since your course notes and other things are there as well. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about Canvas or MyMathLab, please feel free to contact me, speak with me, and I'd be happy to get you set up.